I remember in 2013 when Pope Francis wrote an encyclical and he calls it Evangelii Gaudium, the joy of the gospel. In this beautiful encyclical, the Pope, amongst other things, talked about the sanctity of preparing to preach the word of God. Preparations in respect to preaching the word of God, in delivering a homily, in sanctifying the people with the word of God. And there, if I remember, if my memory serves me right, he talks about the immediate preparation, the remote preparation, and the one, he talks about also contextualization of the word. But it pains me that a friend of mine called me this morning and said he was disappointed listening to the word of God somewhere, that the man of God did not even prepare to preach the word. It was as if he didn't even know where the readings were coming from. He talks about some stories here and there and base it on social media influencers. And the people went home without satisfaction, without sanctification, and without a change of heart, which is metanoia. Therefore, souls were lost because of lack of preparation for the word of God. And sometimes we make the mistake. Yes, you see some liturgists or men of the altar, priests, religious or seminarians and deacons, as they process towards the sanctuary for veneration and then the beginning of the mass, of course with in the name of the Father. Why in that procession it pains me and beats my imagination that some priests will turn to the deacon and say, oh, today you just have to say something to the people, preach the word to them. And you know quite well that this deacon have not even prepared for the word. And we know the sanctity, the sacredness of the word of God. But you tell him, go and preach. And some will say, oh yes, it's just to test him, to test his readiness, or to see how he will perform. But is that what the church actually teaches? Because the place of the word of God is very, very sacred for the church. It's not something you just wake up and just tell somebody, preach. Yes, we know in certain occasions, maybe like a wedding, nobody was approached to be the one who preaches at the event. Maybe in that setting, somebody can be approached before the mass. Please gather your thoughts together to say something to the people. But not while the procession is already on and you just approach somebody. It doesn't show the dignity, the emphasis we place on the word of God. And what is the purpose? At mass, after the word of God, after the table of the word of God, we go to the table of the Eucharist. The word is a sacrament on its own. Of course, the Eucharist is a sacrament. And Christ feeds us from these two tables so that our lives will be sanctified and will be divinized and become his model so that we reign in that kingdom. When people strive to come to mass on a Sunday, they are not coming because they don't have something to do at home. They are coming so that they can hear the word of God, so that they can be enriched with the word of God, so that they can be challenged with the word of God, so that they can be prepared with the word of God. So we as teachers of the word, we as exemplars of the word, we have to really prepare in order to give substance, in order to give a defined teaching to the people. Because it's just, remember, some just come only on Sundays. There are those, they don't even come during the week. They just find time to be there for Sunday mass, Sunday liturgy, or Sunday service, as the case may be. You are a pastor of souls. You are a shepherd of souls. How equipped are you with the word of God? My people are perishing because they lack the knowledge of the word of God. Ignorance of the scriptures is ignorance of Christ. If we know the word transforms us. The word edifies us. The word challenges us. The word equips us. And the word transforms us. The word divinizes us. Preachers of the word, priests, deacons, pastors, seminarians, let us endeavor to prepare ourselves. Psychological preparation, emotional preparation, spiritual preparation, and also physical preparation, because you have to be healthy to preach the word. Sometimes, your gestures, your demonstrations are also very, very important. And the way you preach to the word, remember also the ultimate preaching is our life. Our life, the way we live our lives, we tell the people, we turn around, we bring the gospel home faster than what we say. Let us not be like those who will be talking and talking and talking, but deep down, or our lives are not correlating, they are not correspondence with what we talk about. May God bless His word in our heart.